This segment brought to you by Kansas Grain Sorghum, growers working together. Find out more at kansasgrainsorghum.org.
Welcome to Farm Factor. First, Kyle Bauer and KDA's Billy Brown discuss the successes dairies in western Kansas have had.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer. I have the opportunity to visit with Billy Brown. He is with the Kansas Department of Agriculture and Agribusiness Development. We're going to be talking dairy for the most part today. And truly, when you talk about agribusiness development in Kansas, dairy comes out as a shining example of a big success.
Absolutely, Kyle. It's really a phenomenal story that we have to tell in western Kansas, especially where we've seen a lot of dairy growth, and the fact that dairies add so much economic generation per unit of water that we produce. They're in some cases one of the top tax providers in the county, and they also put a lot of children in our schools while creating more economic value per unit of water. It's a great story that we have to tell, and it's a growing industry, and we're hoping that continues to grow.
So what is the key to helping that continue to grow?
Well, as we heard today in our breakout session focusing on dairy, one of those key things will be working on immigration reform. Immigration is obviously something that really impacts our industry quite heavily, and if we can know that we'll have a good supply of laborers that are typically of more immigrant nature and not at risk of losing those with some political upheaval, that will help us out certainly a lot. But we also have to overcome some quality of life issues in our more rural areas when we're recruiting talent, and make sure we have some good housing for those employees, and also able to go ahead and be able to have some other quality of life things like pools and good schools and places to shop for those families and workers that will be here with us.
There's ground that has been broken for a new plant in Garden City. Tell us about that.
Yep. That is actually a Dairy Farmers of America plant. Dairy Farmers of America is one of the largest cooperatives in the United States, and they will be building a whole milk powder facility in Garden City, which will accept, I think, about 2 million pounds of milk per day produced there in western Kansas, which is a great opportunity for us. They're going to extract the water from that, make the whole milk powder, and it's going to be destined for export. So we're going to be feeding people across the globe with this whole milk powder.
So where's that milk going now?
Currently, it goes to a variety of locations, mostly out of state. At the current moment, we only process about 25% of our milk within the state's borders. When this plant is done, by our estimations, that will increase to 75%. So that's huge. As it currently stands, a lot of our milk will be shipped to other states to the south of us, numerous hours in some cases to the southeast United States, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, and so that's a long distance to be shipping that milk. And it is high quality milk that we're able to sell down there, but we just like to process it here and capture that added value.
It is kind of a bit of a jigsaw puzzle, though. You build a plant that makes powdered milk, and then you have to ship that to across the world. So you have to have transportation, and you have to have labor for the dairies. There's a lot of pieces to put together.
Sure, it is a big jigsaw puzzle, and we're really working on that, and I know there are exciting things going on in Kansas related to rail and that ability to help us increase export of our agricultural products that we have, including this milk powder. And so as we continue to work on that, we'll continue to realize that our ag products that we produce in here are really serving the global community, and that's something that we underestimate a lot of times.
We're visiting with Billy Brown. He is with the Kansas Department of Agriculture. Kyle Bauer reporting. Back to you, Jamie.
Thanks, Kyle. Come back after these messages for this week's Kansas Soybean Update.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com.
KFRM is one of the largest farm radio stations in the nation, dedicated to informing and entertaining rural listeners from northern Oklahoma to southwestern Nebraska. You can catch KFRM in many ways. Of course, 550 on the AM dial, streaming at kfrm.com, or on your smartphone by going to the TuneIn Radio app, or on Ag AM in Kansas on Tuesdays and Facebook every day of the week. KFRM, tune us in. You'll be glad you did.